Welcome back, y'all, to Harmon Homestead. I've been trying to get this video out, and it just didn't happen, okay? But I promise it's here. Why are your chickens not hatching, okay? Bottom line, that's what this video is about. So, buckle up, we're going to go through it all, okay? So, I'm in my dining room here, and this is a brooder greenhouse right now, okay? I've had 4 tabletop incubators. Right now I have 3. One got molded. It was a styrofoam incubator. You can go buy it at any box store. And I said I'm not doing that. So we just chunked it and let it be. Okay. So now I have 3. I have 2 Hovabator Genesis incubators. That's what it's called. That's what this is right here. Right beside it, I have my newest one, Matacoop X300. Okay. I love these incubators. These have been old faithful, okay? I love them. The newest one I love as well. I have no qualms with it. So, when you're getting eggs to hatch, first things first, you might be surprised that I'm telling you this, but some people don't know. You must have a rooster with your hens, okay? That's step number 1, okay? Complete. You want to collect eggs for about 10 days. I've pushed it to 10. They've done fine. Sometimes 12. You could even go past that. I don't know. But usually within 10 days, you want to get those eggs. Keep them out on the counter at room temp. You don't have to turn those eggs, nothing. Just let them sit there in a basket or an egg carton. And when you're ready at the end of 10 days, put them in the incubator. This is stuff to prevent you from messing up. Okay? We've always done this. Always. You want to have your incubator on a couple of hours before you put your eggs in there. I would say at minimum 1 hour. What you're going to do is you're going to have instructions that come with this. The first thing, there's always water trays. No matter which incubator you get, whatever kind, they'll have like 1, 2, 3, and 4. And mind you, this is only for chicken eggs, okay? Only for incubating chicken eggs. You'll fill up tray 1 usually, okay? Go on and put your water in there, let the humidity get adjusted, and then put your eggs in. The humidity for the first 18 days, I always run per Hovabator 45 to 55%. My Matacoop, I do the same. I think it told me a little different, but I still do the same. It's worked fine, okay? 45 to 55 for the first 18 days. Now, during those 18 days, you're either going to have an automatic turner. I don't have mine in this one right now. You're going to have an automatic turner with each unit, more than likely, or either. If you don't, that's no problem, but you must turn those eggs at minimum 3 times a day. Y'all, I'm the hatching queen. I've hatched at least 1,000 chicks in this dining room with these tabletop incubators. I've always had excellent results. However, last month, right around the week of April the 1st, we had all these eggs and we had them on lockdown. I'll get to that in a minute. And no one hatched, like 1 chick out of each hatch. I couldn't figure out what happened, and I had used the brand new incubator once. It did great. I had a 100% hatch rate, and then the next time 1 chick. So what I did was I got lax. I didn't turn my eggs. I was having to hand turn my eggs because I don't have enough electrical outlets for all of these automatic turners with the incubators running. So you must turn your eggs. I did read online trying to troubleshoot. It says to turn them different directions each time you do, okay? So I've been doing that. I'll turn them to the right and then turn them to the left. Now I'm just going to open this up and show you what's going on here. To know that your eggs are turned. Now you can turn them, but just to make sure, write something on each side of the egg. And everybody says, oh, you have to use a safe marker and all that. Y'all, I've used a Sharpie marker the entire time I've done this, and most of the time, every egg will hatch. Or one egg will not hatch out of every egg I put in here. And I'm filling it to capacity every time, okay? So you can use a pencil, Sharpie, whatever. So in here, just make sure you turn them for 18 days. And watch your humidity. See, on this right here, it will tell you. You can see I've got that light. It'll flash and tell you the humidity. Now I've just lifted the lid up so the humidity is going to go down. These are very accurate. As soon as you pull that lid up, it'll start dropping. Like right now it said 33%. It'll show you your temperature. Whatever it comes set, leave it, okay? Don't start messing with the temperature on these things. You can, but don't do it. Because I did that On this new one, I tried to up it to like 100 degrees. No, it was my fault, not the incubators. Let it run on what they've designed it at. Okay, I did a video. Can you stack eggs? I've stacked eggs, they hatched. That was no trouble. And what I mean by stacking eggs, and I talk with my hands, y'all. You're just going to have to forgive me, okay? I'm putting eggs like that. Do you see how that egg right there is sitting on top of these other ones? Because I didn't have enough room. And I had so many people needing so many chicks, and it was Easter, and I was trying to get them, you know. So, you can do that. That was no trouble. No trouble whatsoever. That is proven. I've done fine with it. But not turning these eggs will throw this off bad, okay? Now, in here, when I said write on your eggs, write on one side. I like to write what it is. If you know what it is, just put an X, okay? I put GLW, that's for Golden Lace Wyandotte, and the day I collected it, 4/25. Because I write the date, because I want to know what's within 10 days, unless you've got a certain little spot. Guys, we've got 150 chickens here. I mean, we don't know who's laying what. There's so many eggs. I get this many eggs a day. I don't know what's what, so that's why I write the date, okay? If you've got 6 hens and you know what they are, just throw them in there and look at your calendar, okay? On the other side, LD, 518. What does LD mean? To help me, I wrote lockdown. That's when I know I need to lock down this incubator. 18 days from the time that I put this egg in here, that's when I lock it down. I'm going to talk to you about that, okay? 18 days. Now, I always put my eggs in at night. I don't know what it is after I collect that day, and at the very end of 10 days, I'll put them in that night. Do not count that day as day 1. Start the next morning. So look on your calendar. If it's Friday night that I'm putting eggs in here tonight, I'll start Saturday as day 1. So Saturday's 1, 2, 3, and count that way, okay? If you're putting them in that morning, like Saturday morning, that's day 1. But if you're putting them in the night, at night time, start counting the next day, okay? 18 days. Turn it to the right, and then by hand, turn it to the left, okay? Now, I showed you lockdown day 18. Here's 1/5/11. This is where we're starting to get into it, okay? All this lockdown, I've got all different dates in here. This is where I messed up. So I let them just stay in here until the very last day. I used one incubator just as a brooder. And what I mean by that is that this was just not a brooder, but an incubator. And everybody else was hatchers, okay? I used the other 2 as the hatching machines. Don't do that. If you do, and I'm doing it right now, as soon as you have that incubator free, go on and move those eggs in there so they'll get adjusted to the environment. That's where I messed up. That's why your chicks may not be hatching, okay? I learned that the hard way. It's like I've got some that's on lockdown 5/7, okay? May the 7th. I've already gotten them in there. As soon as I could, I just threw another batch in. Let them sit, let them cook, let them develop, and then for lockdown, day 18, this is what you do, okay? You want to raise up, bump up that humidity. If it's 45 to 55, you want it 55 to 65. You'll fill in like tray number 2, okay? When your chicks hatch, the humidity will shoot up. It'll jump up in the incubator. That Matacoop X, it does not jump. It's been beautiful for that. It's normal, it's expected, the whole 9 yards. When your humidity gets real high, you may have a shrink-wrapped chick, meaning that you may have to help one out. Y'all, I've done it. Some have not made it and some have, but it's worth a shot because I've saved more than I haven't, okay? On day 18, you're going to bump up that humidity and you're going to stop turning. You're going to let them be. Let them cook, let them be, and then they'll pip, they'll crack through the shell, they'll zip, they'll pop out, and then you'll have little chicks. The very first day that you notice a chick, you have 72 hours to get that whole incubator cleared out, or either pull out all those chicks, including the first one hatched. They have to get to water within 72 hours. Now, y'all, I'm telling you, I used it's nothing to do with stacking eggs. I didn't turn them. And I just moved them at the very last minute to an entirely different environment. Let that chick get adjusted to wherever it's going to be, because this hovabator and that hovabator runs totally different. The sensors are different, even though they're identical, got them at the same time. Every environment's different. It may be because that one's sitting beside a window and this one's beside a brick wall. I don't know. They're all, it's the same room, but every incubator is different. So if you're going to use one just as an incubator and have other incubators for hatching, get those eggs in there as soon as it is free. Let them sit, let them get adjusted. See, earlier this week I put these eggs that are scheduled for lockdown. When I stopped doing everything, stopped turning, I went on and put them in earlier this week. That way they could be getting adjusted. And I'm able to use the automatic turner with that one. So I'm just letting them sit, they tilt back and forth. And then on the 7th, I'll take that turner out. I'll increase the humidity and they'll hatch. This hatch, you hear chicks. This was the first chick. These chicks were the first chicks we've seen in a month because I messed up so badly. It's a great idea, but it did not work for us. And it may be something with the weather and humidity. One night it was 39. In the daytime it's 89. I mean, it's been ridiculous. So that may have had something to do with it as well. But you have got to turn your eggs. Now, a lot of people will say, don't candle your eggs a lot because it'll mess them up. Y'all, I have candled eggs every other day, the entire run, for most of my runs, and they've done just fine, okay? You need to candle. That may be why you're not having chicks hatch, because if you don't candle, you don't know what to look for. Even in hard to candle eggs, like a Moran, the dark chocolate egg, right here, this right here, okay? You still see the air cell growing. You need to look for a blood ring. I've done a video on that. That is where the little chick didn't make it. Okay, you'll know what to look for. It'll be a huge red ring, either in a circle. It's very defined. It's the early stages of candling. And what I mean by candling, y'all, is you get a high-powered flashlight. I use the Magic Fly. I'm not even sure what series it is. I may have it over here. No, I don't. But I think it's on my dining room table. I use that. You can use a flashlight. I really like the Magic Fly candler. It's a black one with an electrical cord, okay? Newer model. I got it 3 years ago. At day 3, you can see veining. You can see it. I've done videos on all this. Go back to our incubating and hatching eggs, okay? It looks like a little spider. And you'll notice a little ring around it. That's not a blood ring. A blood ring looks like it's red as my nail polish and a huge ring all around that egg. You'll know, okay? It's usually later on you'll notice this. Air cells detach. You'll notice that. It looks like bubbles floating everywhere in your egg. Huge, big bubbles. It's not anything. You'll know something's wrong when you pick it up, okay? Candle your eggs. It's turning them by hand. It's moving them. Just don't take 2 hours with it, okay? Be kind of quick, look at your eggs, and then put them back in the incubator. That's all I can tell you as far as hatching, because now you may have some questions. Put a comment below and I might could help you. I may be forgetting some of this. I'm trying to rush this video. But guys, I've incubated, like I said, seriously, 1,000 chicks. I've never had trouble. Never, ever, ever. We even had a power outage during lockdown where they're the chicks trying to get adjusted and hatch out of the egg. And the power outage was like for 3 hours and still had a great hatch rate. So I think it was moving all these eggs back and forth to different environments. Don't do that. Don't do it at the very end, okay? If you're going to do it like I'm doing it, move it on now as soon as you can and get them in where they're going to hatch. Optimally, put some eggs in here and keep them in here till the chick comes out. That would be optimal, okay? Candle, look at your chick's development. Make sure your humidity doesn't go awry. You will have to add water to this about every 2 to 3 days, okay? Make sure your power is not out. If it's out, if you don't have a generator or anything like that, don't want to fool with it, wrap it in towels, okay? Make sure the temp is running right. I have had one lid go out on me, the fan, the motors, so we had to throw that away. I was standing right there when it happened, so thankfully that worked out. But check these incubators. Don't get messed up on your days. Candle your eggs, turn your eggs, okay? And kind of keep them where they're at. If you have any other questions, let me know. I've seen it all. I've seen a pip on the wrong end of the egg. I've seen shrink wrapped. I've seen, you wouldn't believe what I've seen. The more you do this, the better you'll get. Check it out. Hatch your own eggs. It's so much better. It's so much better, y'all. Okay, so do this. Get after it. Be sustainable. Get some chickens. We'll see you next time on Harmon Homestead.